Hey, this is Gary Kay. We're here at Integrate 2019. It's about 2.5 hours till the show floor closes, and we got some exciting news in three ways. First off, I want to introduce you to the tech man, Peter Coleman. How are you doing, Pete?
I'm great. Gary, yourself?
Doing well. You may not know him, but you're going to know him because we've got a new partnership here, and he's going to be producing a tremendous amount of content for us in the upcoming years. Are you excited about it? Of course, you have to say.
Of course, I'm excited. Yeah, and I'm really honored that you actually reached out to me and that we can start working together.
Yeah. So Pete has a unique perspective on the industry. He's opinionated, which I love. His style is unique. You're going to love him. You're going to see him doing videos. You're going to see him doing podcasts and doing writing for us. He's got that Australian accent. How can you not love that?
Oh, I know everyone loves the Australian accent, don't they?
You'd much rather listen to him talk than me anyway. So this is going to benefit you as well. Think about that. So tell me why, what you think about the industry and sort of give them a little background on sort of who you are and where you came from.
Right. Okay. So my background, I'm a consultant in the AV industry and also communications. My actual background is IT. So I've sort of made that transition over into previously home automation and then into the commercial sector with audio visual and more sort of commercial technologies.
So he actually comes from the industry. I worked at a manufacturer. He worked at a design firm. So therefore you're going to get an interesting perspective with us working together. I like the fact that you're opinionated. Talk about that for just a second, sort of how that, because don't you get nervous about that sometimes?
No, never. I mean, I think it's almost the Australian way. I mean, you call it as you see it. So I that's my opinion. Maybe others don't share that same opinion. That's fine, right? But I think people can be a bit too politically correct these days.
I totally agree with you. So you're going to see a collaboration between rAVe and the tech man, Pete Coleman. Pete, thanks for joining me today. Thanks. I've got a couple other guests here. You're going to see and hear Pete more with every upcoming show over the next year. So let me pull in Jeff Smith. Come on over, Jeff. Jeff Smith is runs Jands here in Australia. Jands is the largest high-end, I'd say, audio distributor in Australia. Very well respected, 50-year-old company. Congratulations on your success.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's not. I've just been part of the machine. It's actually the whole company that has made us successful.
Right.
And obviously Paul Mulholland founded the company and has been a bit of a visionary. But yeah. We really appreciate where we are today.
Well, they're in a unique position. Two of the hottest brands here on the show floor. You have some great brands overall, but two of the hottest brands on the show floor were in your booth, Biamp and Shure. And, with the growth of UCC and collaboration, those were two great brands to have there, weren't they?
Yeah, we're very lucky. We're very lucky to represent a lot of good brands, as you said. They're two very important brands to us. But we also were lucky to have upstairs the L-Acoustics Alyssa demo, which I am very happy to say I think it's probably been the vibe or the thing to see at the show. So it's not for UC, it's actually something completely different. They like to say it's changing the way audio is done in theatre. But the demos that the guys were doing upstairs were just extraordinary.
Yeah, and that's L-Acoustics, great brand. Again, another high-end brand. Biamp Devio, you had a lot of the Biamp products there, but obviously the microphone array from Shure was very popular because of the UCC growth.
Yeah, I mean it's really that product, and Shure was their developments into that UC space is really what transformed Jands as well. We went from being what I call like a production company into very much a multifaceted company that actually looked at vertical markets across system integration, UCC, production and performance venues, and our retail MI side as well.
Well, if you want to learn more about Jands, if you have a brand in the U.S. and you want to market it here in Australia, and you want to learn more about Jands, all you got to do is check them out online at jands.com.au, Jands. You can also see all the videos we shot in their booth by just typing in Jands in the video search window at our Integrate microsite, which is at ravepubs.com. Click on the Integrate link. One last question. You obviously have gone around the world, traveled around the world. You know the products, you know the industry, you know what's going on around the world. What's your feeling about the economy? What's your feeling about the industry and technology right now?
I think the industry and technology advancements is really picking up in pace. I think it's in another 5 years, it's hard to imagine how and what the industry will look like. Another 10 years, it's even, yeah, it's amazing. On the economy side, I think in Australia, we're certainly seeing things picking up pace again. We had a federal election in Australia last year, and that sort of slowed down everyone for a period of time. A bit of uncertainty who was going to be taking the country forward for the next bunch of years. But once that's gone past, we've moved forward. We were talking on my booth about the potential trade wars or what impacts that can have. We're kind of isolated from that, but we keep a very close watch on what's going on because, obviously there are implications globally of what's going to happen, but we're feeling positive about the future at the moment.
That's good to know. How many years you been in the industry?
This AV industry, I'm afraid to say 17 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. I came from the recording industry prior to that, but yeah, 17 years now.
So over those years, what's your favorite all-time tech product? It doesn't have to be in our industry, but all-time product that you thought was just a game-changing product for your life or you.
Wow, that's a really tough question. I think some of the developments in the microphones. I think one of the big changes is probably, it's a short product, but it was when they did the Axient platform to actually detect interference and switch frequencies. To me, I looked at that and thought that's amazing technology. And now it's starting to filter through into some of their other ranges like Axient Digital and ADX and the future there. But that was something that was, when I first started, you couldn't have imagined they could do that. To have a range of microphones that could actually detect and avoid interference like it does.
Yeah, and that's the advantage of everything going digital. We are here in the Extron booth. This is day 3 of the Integrate 2019 show here in Melbourne, Australia. By the way, Melbourne is just beautiful. Yeah. You're not from Melbourne. No. You're from Sydney, right? Yeah. But this would be if you weren't living in Sydney, you'd be okay living here, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Melbourne's a very cultural city. We like to say. Yeah, their coffee culture is very strong. Beautiful coffee culture.
It's amazing. There are. I don't even know how to describe this. There are literally 2 to 4 coffee shops on every street, on every corner, on every block.
Yeah, and every single place has your favorite barista. Yeah. But no, it's an amazing place for food as well. And actually, the other thing which people don't realize is they're mad for sport here. Football games, our Aussie rules. There's rugby down here as well. Anytime there's a big sporting event, about 100,000 Melburnians will turn up.
Yeah, well, I love it here. We've been coming to you live from the Extron booth. They are a sponsor globally of our rAVe TV live streaming coverage of trade shows. I want to thank you for joining me, and I'm going to ask Soren to come in because he's going to give us some numbers on the show. Soren actually is the person who runs the entire show. We opened up day 1 with Soren, and we're closing day 3 with Soren. Soren, so tell me your reflection on the 2019 event here in Melbourne, Australia.
Well, this is the 3rd show we've had here in Melbourne, and we started back in 2015, first time in Melbourne, and then we've been alternating since between Sydney and Melbourne. And regardless of where the show has been held, we've seen growth year on year in attendance. And this year, fortunately, is no different. So we've seen solid growth. And compared to the last Melbourne event, I'm still obviously waiting for the last figures because there's 2 hours.
We still have people coming through the door.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I can tell you that an hour ago, we were 40 people off the overall target we had for the show. So we're in a really good position.
Yeah, and no one ever targets lower than the year before. So that's a good sign. So that means the numbers are going to be up. We're going to have a record number of attendees. One area that's really picked up, even in the 4 years we've been covering it, is end users. There's a lot more end users here, and they're here not just to see the technology, but for the education.
Yeah, and we've been listening to our exhibitors and the market, and obviously that's where the growth of the industry is, and consultants, integrators have been bringing in their end customers this year. They've even put on special functions with their end users. Our education has been tailored very much towards the end users. Big focus on the enterprise work technology space, which is a very big growing space in this AV field. And I want to continue to grow that end user market. We're currently sitting at close to 30% of the overall attendance from that end user market. and that will steadily grow over the coming years.
I tend to agree. Let me turn our attention to technology. You've had a chance to walk around the show floor. Can you tell me what maybe one or two of your favorite products that you saw were, or technologies that you noticed?
Oh, listen, again, it's innovation is happening slowly, but every year you're seeing brighter screens. You know, like certainly the Samsung 8K screen is amazing to look at. You know, I can't go by if we're looking at displays, still the Sony QLED, CLED is an amazing display to look at. But there is also some real innovation within AV over IP. It's hard to pick the winner because there's so many different options out there.
Yeah. And I think QSIS got a big push here at the show. This is the first time they actually showed a finished product for their AV over IP product here. It was first place in the world. They've shown a finish in a few weeks. Of course, you can't miss Extron with their NAV product line. They launched it secretly here last year. They rolled it out in a big way this year. They're actually shipping the product now. I would say that overall AV over IP, the biggest one thing exposure overall had to be the NAV, because number one, it's right here in the front door, and number two, displays being used in ways that we didn't expect them to be used. That's another theme for the show. And if you want to see what I'm talking about, just go to our Integrate website at ravepubs.com, click on the Integrate link, or go to ravepubs.com/integrate2019. You'll see all the videos we shot. We're going to end up shooting about 400, maybe 450 videos here, somewhere in that range, over the 3-day event. We captured everything. We captured the way things are, not just the products, but the way things feel and the way they interacted with people, and sort of the temperature of when you walk into a booth, kind of how you're expected to sort of navigate your way through the booth, because we did a bunch of booth tours. A lot of stuff on social. Go to my social feed at linkedin.com/in/GK. GKAYE, and you'll see all the LinkedIn stuff. I posted probably 10 LinkedIn videos today myself walking around the show floor. But Soren, finally, I want to say thank you for inviting us to cover this show. When you came to me 5 years ago and said, hey, we'd love for you to cover this show, number one, I was excited because it's in Australia, but number two, I was excited because we're going to be part of something that you're growing, and I'm honored to be part of it. So thank you very much for inviting us and hosting us these last 4 years.
You know, it's my pleasure. I really enjoy working with you and your team. You're very dedicated, and you just give me that global exposure for the show. It really showcases what we have here in Australia on a global scale. So much appreciated, and I look forward to seeing you again next year at Integrate. We
will definitely be here. Check out all of our coverage at ravepubs.com. Click on the Integrate link. Thanks to Extron for allowing us to host this show in their booth every day, streaming it from their booth. The global sponsor of rAVe TV, and of course you can check out Extron at extron.com. You definitely want to check out the NAV. This is the newest big product here, and of course we've been streaming this, by the way, using the Extron SMP every single day. So if you need a H.264 streaming device, that's the one we use. That's what we use at rAVe. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.